Welcome to How to Grill a Grilled Cheese. We're going to start with the ingredients that you need. First, you need 2 pieces of bread. You also need cheese. You can use 1 to 2 or even 3 slices depending on how much cheese you like. Next, you need butter. Butter you will put on the bread when you fry it. You will also need a butter knife to spread the butter onto each piece individually. You will need the spatula when frying to avoid using your hands. Also, you will need a skillet to fry, and you will need a stove as well. This stove is gas, but you could also use an electric stove as well. Please be aware that using a stove is very dangerous. It heats up to very high temperatures and could potentially burn you. This is not something that a child should use and should be used with much caution. First step is to take the butter using the butter knife and then spread it onto the piece of bread. The next step is to light your stove. Different stoves are going to be lit different ways, but for this gas stove, you first press down on the button, turn it as far as you can to the left to where it says light, and it'll light the stove. You're going to want to keep it on a medium setting so that you avoid burning the bread. The next thing I would do is cut another piece of butter, place it into the pan so that the bread will toast better and also not stick to the pan. As you can see, I now have butter on both pieces of bread and butter in the pan as well. The first thing I'm going to do is place the bread into the pan, butter side down. That's going to begin to toast that side of bread. Next thing I'm going to do is take my first piece of cheese, remove the plastic, and place it on top. Now, I like a good amount of cheese, so I'm going to use 2 pieces. Some people use 1, and you can use as many as 3 or even 4. You also don't have to use this type of packaged cheese. You could use shredded cheese, Velveeta cheese, cheddar cheese. Now I will place the other piece of bread on top with the butter side up. By this point, the bottom should be toasted well, so I'm going to take my spatula, slide it under the piece of bread, flip it, and continue cooking. As you can see, the top of the bread is browned but not blackened. It's going to have a great crunchy substance. Now it's been about 20 to 30 seconds. I understand that the bottom should probably be toasted by now. What I'm going to do is slide the spatula under and take a quick look to see that it resembles the top, which it does. The cheese seems to be melted, keeping the 2 pieces together, so that means my product is about finished. I'm going to use my spatula to slide it back onto my original plate. I'm going to use my knife that I used to use the butter to cut my sandwich in half. I'm going to make sure to turn my stove off. That's a very important safety step. You can't leave that stove burning. It is a fire hazard. And now you have a finished, completed grilled cheese.